see how I do this? I drink from the bottle, very demure.
We have all the flavors.
Very mindful. I don't just chug it. I just don't, just like all the way down, just little.
And then sometimes be just other girls and her, then other guys, then guys and girls, and they swinging, they doing their thing, bro. You know, I guess that's what the industry is. They like to swing like that. You know, the rock stars do it. I guess the rappers was doing it too.
That actually Diddy has been collecting evidence on all of you and you don't know where those tapes are. That will buy your silence for quite some time because you're hoping that if you keep your head low, you're not going to be revealed as one of these people that was engaged.
Jen's career seems to be on the rocks, and we finally got info about those nasty freak-off rumors. Turns out they were true all along, as Jennifer Lopez just admitted that she was at those wild parties with Beyonce, and guess who else? Diddy. Jennifer Lopez's career could be in serious trouble, and it's all because of Diddy. Her freak-off video with him is apparently making rounds in Hollywood, and it's owned by someone you'd never expect. And here's where it gets wild.
There's definitely a tape out there. Definitely. So, of course, y'all know Suge was in jail. And as the groupie would say, Michelet was in charge. Okay. I ain't never claimed to be the president, so that's who should put in some paperwork in a deposition or something that obvious must. That Michelet was in charge. No, not in charge, the president. Who knows? But you ask anybody from any interviews, anything, from 1997 till 2002, even when Suge was home.
I'm quite sure they say, we want to show you some things. This about your wife. When he sees this that her and Puffy was doing and who they was doing it with, I'm quite sure they gave him back those tapes. And I'm quite sure
J-Lo isn't the only one involved. There's a long list of celebrities connected to these tapes. Lawyers are even admitting on national TV that these tapes exist and are being shopped around.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this.
Jaguar Wright had mentioned Diddy had celebrity tapes way before his arrest, and now it seems like she was onto something. She's even naming people on the tapes that are hard to believe. But here's the kicker. No celebrities have filed defamation lawsuits against her or spoken out about Diddy. The only thing we have seen is a cease and desist letter, but that was not for Jaguar, but for Piers Morgan, who recently had Jaguar on his show, and she just kept saying the things that she's always saying. But anyway, J-Lo is now caught up in this tape scandal, and it might explain why Ben Affleck is stepping back from the public eye and why they divorced. Rumor has it that many of these tapes are held by people involved in the acts, and they're trying to sell them back to the celebrities who didn't even know they were being filmed, all before they leak during Diddy's trial. We've already seen Stevie J caught on tape with Diddy, and we know they've been close for over 20 years. There was even a tape of Stevie and Eve that leaked, so who knows what else is out there.
Oh, there's a few I could come up with. Will Smith. He's bigger than Diddy. I would think Nick Cannon is bigger than Diddy. Who else on the black that are black actors or black in the business that's an A-lister that's bigger than Diddy that's black?
These allegations are wild, but there are strange connections when you piece things together. Diddy and Justin Bieber have a long history, with some questionable moments caught on camera. And let's not forget about Jaden Smith's close connection to Justin, and Will Smith's public displays of affection towards Jaden that raise eyebrows.
You saying the whole party was weird. What did you see at the party that made it weird? I mean, I'm confused.
I guess it was the Illuminati. It's just weird. I know I wouldn't want to be part of no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm from the old school, dude, and that shit wasn't really tolerated with my generation. You know what I'm saying?
Then there's Drake. He once said he owns all his personal tapes. But how many times might he have been recorded at Diddy's parties without knowing?
I had seen it before that too.
What?
Yeah, well, like another star showed me a much more high quality image of his penis prior to the sex that was leaked. And Drake actually reached out to me because I was giving him shit. I was saying, you wanted this to leak, you love this shit. And he said, no, it's not my brand.
What?
But I think it might have been like a hostage situation where somebody was trying to get money out of him to not
Why do you
release
say that?
it's just the way he told me. He told me that he had known about it for a couple weeks prior to it coming out. So I'm guessing that they were probably trying to get money out of the Sixth God, and he wasn't willing to do it. And
They've had beef in the past, and Diddy even allegedly tried to put a hit on him, the same way he's rumored to have done with Tupac. And then there's the Rihanna and Chris Brown saga. They've both been to plenty of Diddy parties, and rumors even swirled that Hustler magazine had a tape of Rihanna and J. Cole. J. Cole's involvement with Rihanna, combined with the fact that he had beef with Diddy, makes this story even more layered. It seems like we're seeing a pattern where people's tapes are threatened to come out, and then suddenly everything goes quiet, never to be mentioned again. Don't get it twisted. This is nothing short of a power move, a warning to keep people in line. Take Usher, for example. It's a little suspicious that he deleted over 7,000 tweets and then claimed he was hacked. There's more to the story, especially with politicians now getting involved. Ever since the mayor of New York, who's been close to Diddy, was indicted, a lot of politicians seem to be getting nervous. They've been unusually quiet about the whole Diddy situation, and it's hard not to imagine that some of them are worried about their names being dragged into this mess.
But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Cause you know who else they was doing investigation on during that whole time period? It was the mayor and the politicians in New York City. They turn around and give him the key to the city. All the mayor people that he brought on here in New York City are all resigning. They all resigning. People ain't gonna tie this together, but if you look at it, you have to say, because of Mayor Adams and his relationship with Diddy, it brought on the Southern District of New York to start investigating Diddy on civil lawsuits that was put against him.
So who could be the big name behind the video that's being shopped around? Some are speculating names like Jay-Z, Beyonce, or even LeBron James. It's strange how silent these big names have been, and it raises the question, why hasn't anyone else been charged besides Diddy, even though we know plenty of others are linked to his parties? The only explanation might be that they're cooperating with the government, trying to save themselves from going down. Another possibility is that Diddy could be working with someone else to release this video as a way to send a message. Don't come for me, or I've got dirt on you. It's just a theory, but if you were in Diddy's shoes and knew this was coming, you'd have to put something in place to make people think twice before turning on you. The fact that no one has sued Jaguar Wright for what she's been saying about big-name celebrities at Diddy's parties is also telling. Celebrities have sued for less.
And then again, as a businessman, I'm like, why would they do that? Like, why wouldn't they just sue him? Well, how come they haven't sued Jaguar? She's outside still talking. And I'm like, who's he down with? Who's his power? Is he down? I think. Is he down with like Rupert Murdoch or something like that?
Jen is once again the talk of the town, and part of the reason why she's emerged once again is the divorce. J-Lo finally gave her 2 cents on the whole divorce drama that has been going on for the last few months. She says that her life exploded when the whole thing went down. In the spring, the divorce rumors started. By May, it was reported that the two were no longer living together. J-Lo admitted that this period was one of the hardest times in her life. She spent the summer alone to prove to herself that she could find happiness on her own. She shared that solitude felt difficult, but it helped her realize she is capable of being by herself. But the other part why Jen is a trending topic are none other than Diddy parties. Diddy's old party photos have resurfaced following his recent arrest, and among them are pictures featuring J-Lo. She and Diddy were a thing from 1999 to 2001, and they took plenty of photos during Diddy's 4th of July party in 2000. These photos were quite interesting to look at, given all the legal troubles that Diddy is facing right now. But also, it's hard not to bring up the white parties and Diddy freak-offs when we're talking about all the trouble that the man is going through right now. There was a time when getting an invite to one of Diddy parties was like hitting a buzzer beater and winning an NBA ring, but in the entertainment world. Imagine all the A-listers like Justin Bieber, Mariah Carey, Paris Hilton, and even Jay-Z and Beyonce. And now, Diddy is sitting in a Brooklyn jail, facing charges including sex and racketeering conspiracy. On top of that, more than a dozen civil lawsuits have been filed against him, accusing him of SA, capital R, and extortion. A lawyer has even stated he's representing over 120 alleged victims who claim they were by Diddy or those around him. But that's what happens when you're laser focused on staying famous, obsessed with power, and you love to show off. You can be the party king of New York, but it's just a matter of time before any king goes down. Just think about it. Diddy was so fascinated with power that he even called the British royal family to attend his parties. They never accepted, but Diddy kept pictures of the princes in his lavish New York apartment, seeing himself as a king who wanted royalty in his circle. Diddy's mansion in Beverly Hills was no different. Neighbors complained 24/7, calling the police numerous times over 7 years. You could find women outside of his mansion looking disoriented, sitting on the street with their underwear exposed, lost and confused.
Yeah, tell him stop bringing all the minors over here late at night. I live right next to him. He do too much. It be like buses, like big ass buses. You just see all type of shit hop out. Especially at nighttime, like around 3 o'clock in the morning, it gets wild. I'm his neighbor. When my basketball go over there, I just let it be because I don't want to knock on the door.
White parties were marketed as breaking down racial and generational barriers. But some recent lawsuits paint a much darker picture. One lawsuit from a man who was 16 at the time of Diddy's first white party in 1998 claims that Diddy lured him into a private area, where the rapper allegedly touched him down there and told him this was a rite of passage to make it in the music business. Other lawsuits, including from a former adult film star and a security worker, accused Diddy of people at these parties and forcing them into sexual situations. In total, more than a dozen civil lawsuits have been filed, with both men and women saying they were either forced or intimidated into having sex with Diddy or people in his circle. Everyone who was there had their career on the line and were threatened if they didn't comply with Diddy's demands.
You think I could book that for like the weekend of the 14th when the soundtrack comes out? If so, bump somebody. All right, thanks. All right, love you, man. Bye. I got my MTV out. Savage! I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get! Whatever I want, I have to get! Yes! What's next? What's next? I gotta get it. I'm not gonna stay fucking down. I'm not gonna stay fucking lying down. I'm not. I can't do it, man. I can't do that. What's next? Give me something else. What can't you do? I can do it. I can do anything.
One of the people who initiated the legal storm that Diddy's caught up in is Cassie. She and Diddy dated for nearly a decade. She filed a lawsuit alleging that Diddy controlled every part of her life, forced her to take drugs, beat her, and even threatened her when she tried to leave. Cassie's lawsuit also sparked a wave of other accusations against Diddy, with many claiming he had a loyal network of people who would do anything he asked. Cassie said that at one point, Diddy's record label even threatened to block her music if she didn't return his calls. It's wild to think how deep this control might have gone. Cassie's claims about her music being held hostage really show just how much influence Diddy had over those around him. But what do you think? Could this level of power really have kept people silent for so long? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's see where this story goes next. Make sure you stick around for more updates. There's definitely more to come.
All these stories are coming out, and all these celebrities are freaking out that suddenly their names are involved. But the biggest one that you and I have both heard is concerned is Jennifer Lopez. She was his girlfriend for quite a while. The first time we really took note of her on a red carpet was the year that she went with Diddy.
Jennifer Lopez is spilling tea that's got everyone shook. J-Lo's breaking her silence on how Beyonce and Jay-Z pressured her into some wild freak-offs. Before we go into the Bey and Jay drama, we've got to rewind a bit into Jennifer's journey into the world of A-list fame. It all began way back in the late 90s when her music and movie career were taking off. And let's not forget her high-profile romance with none other than Diddy. Their love story was just as iconic as the music video where they first met, and it set the stage for J-Lo's rise to the top. Jennifer Lopez and Diddy first crossed paths in 1999 while shooting the music video for J-Lo's hit, If You Had My Love. At the time, J-Lo was riding the wave of success with her debut album On the Six and starting to land some big movie roles. Diddy, meanwhile, was already a huge name in the music scene, known for his producing and rapping. Sparks flew on the set, and soon, their high-profile romance was all over the media. Despite their different upbringings and personalities, J-Lo being more family-oriented and Diddy having that larger-than-life vibe, their relationship took off fast. Jen even admitted she didn't like Diddy at first, saying he was just too much for her.
At first, I didn't like him at all. You know, I didn't. I thought he was like, you know, it.
But as they hung out more, they bonded over their shared love for music and entertainment, and their connection only grew stronger. Before long, they were one of the hottest couples in Hollywood.
So I'm holding like this, then I look up and I look into her eyes, and I just fell in love from right then and there. It was just like the first time I fell in love, like love at first sight.
Their time together was filled with glamorous events, including the unforgettable moment when J-Lo rocked that iconic green Versace dress at the 2000 Grammy Awards. That appearance cemented their status as a media darling duo, and the tabloids couldn't get enough of them. However, their relationship faced major bumps. It's no wonder when you pair up Diddy's wild lifestyle and Jen's desire for a more grounded life. Eventually, the main deal breaker was Diddy's infidelity, which Lopez later revealed was a major source of heartache for her. By 2001, the couple called it quits after 2 years together.
She's going a separate way, and this is a time when I ain't wanting her to go a separate way, and it's like I'm needing her. It's like a tragedy that it ain't worked out. She's somebody that I'll always love, no matter if she's married with 20 children.
A few years later, Jen opened up about her time with Diddy, saying it was the first time she'd been with someone who would cheat. Gene Deal suggested Diddy did things while Jen was still home. She shared how his constant late-night outings and absences left her questioning their future, leading to their emotional breakup. Their breakup was just as public as their relationship, with both of them addressing it in interviews. J-Lo opened up about how tough it was for her, sharing how she felt disrespected and mistreated at times, painting a picture of how toxic things had been between them. But even with all the drama, they managed to keep things cool post-breakup and even talked positively about each other in interviews later on. Still, their relationship wasn't all romance. One particular night out changed everything for both of them. On December 28, 1999, Diddy and J-Lo hit up Club New York, a spot in Manhattan that was packed with celebs and athletes. The vibe was lit, but things took a dark turn when a fight broke out near the bar. Diddy accidentally bumped into Matthew "Scar" Allen, which led to drinks being spilled, tempers flaring, and eventually, someone throwing cash in Diddy's face. Next thing you know, gunshots rang out, turning the club into a scene straight out of a nightmare. 3 people lost their lives and many others were injured. The chaos spilled outside, and in the midst of it, Diddy, Jen, and his bodyguard made a run for it. But they didn't get far. Police stopped them after they ran a red light, and when the car got searched, a stolen gun was found. All 3 were hit with criminal charges, but J-Lo's charges were dropped pretty quickly. Diddy was eventually acquitted, but the incident left a mark on his career. One major fallout from that night was the arrest of Shine, who was caught up in the shooting. Shine claimed self-defense but ended up serving a 10-year sentence. The aftermath of that tragic night was also the final nail in the coffin for Diddy and J-Lo's relationship. They called it quits about a year after that chaos at the club. Fast forward to the present day and things have only become messier. The latest drama involving J-Lo, Diddy, and Ben Affleck has everyone talking. Word on the street is that the FBI found some tapes when they raided Diddy's properties, and they allegedly featured J-Lo. To top things off, they turned them over to Ben Affleck. Now, that move has supposedly put some serious strain on his relationship with Jen. Suge Knight couldn't resist throwing in his 2 cents. He claims those tapes show J-Lo in some compromising situations when she was still with Diddy. He even hinted that these tapes might reveal more about her involvement in the infamous 1999 nightclub shooting. According to Suge, Jen wasn't entirely truthful in her testimony back then, and the tapes supposedly show a side of the story that no one saw coming.
Of course, you would say, we want to show you some things. This is about your wife. When he sees that her and Puffy was doing and who they were doing it with, I'm quite sure they gave his ass those tapes. And I'm quite sure he can never look at her the same. I'm quite sure they heading for a divorce. Because, you know, that's a man who had a good life. Great parents, don't spend a lot of money, ain't tripping off paparazzi. We living this life.
Others, such as Reggie Wright, confirmed it too.
Death Row started to announce that they were going to put out a Jennifer Lopez adult tape. Can you tell me about how you guys obtained it, what it was, and why it never came out?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a story. So, there's definitely a tape out there. Definitely.
What everyone is questioning right now is their real motive. Shug thinks it could have been to protect Ben or give him the whole truth about J-Lo's past. Whatever the reason, this revelation has reportedly caused major tension between Ben and J-Lo, sparking rumors that their marriage could be on the rocks. With the couple getting hitched in 2022 after rekindling their romance in 2021, this new drama is definitely putting them to the test. Recently, they've been laying low, and insiders are saying these tapes have played a big part in their troubles. To make matters worse, they've even put their Beverly Hills mansion on the market, leaving everyone wondering what's next for the couple. So while the exact contents of these tapes are still unknown, they're causing some serious waves. Word is that they capture footage from Diddy's infamous after parties, which were known for being straight up wild. These parties weren't just a regular Hollywood bash. Former associates of Diddy have described them as chaotic scenes where literally anything could happen. A bunch of celebs, including J-Lo, were regulars at these events. Now, with the FBI handing over these tapes, it's got people wondering about how much Ben Affleck really trusts J-Lo right now. With Diddy facing over 120 allegations, things are about to get even messier. On top of all the drama with the tapes, Diddy's been in some serious hot water lately. In 2024 alone, he was hit with over 120 allegations, with claims stretching all the way back to the 1990s. We're talking about accusations of misconduct, drug involvement, and even some claims about inappropriate behavior with minors. These charges are no joke. Back in September 2024, Diddy was arrested and hit with charges related to misconduct and transporting people for escort services. The details are laid out in an indictment from the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York, and it paints a dark picture. Diddy, of course, is denying everything and has vowed to fight the charges in court. But as this legal battle heats up, people are starting to look back at his past relationships, especially the one with Jennifer, and ask questions about what really went down during their time together. The media's been all over this, digging into J-Lo and Diddy's past romance to see if there's more to the story. And for J-Lo, this can't be easy. She's been moving on with her life, but now she's being pulled back into the spotlight because of all the dirt that's being dug up on Diddy. Interestingly, she hasn't said a word about the recent allegations against him, and that might be a smart move on her part. Staying quiet could be her way of keeping the focus off her personal life and career during this messy situation. But Diddy just keeps delivering. White Party's new footage just dropped featuring none other than Diddy. This new clip makes you wonder if it's just a random party video or something more sinister.
We fed y'all, we gave y'all some drinks, now it's time to enjoy life. This is a celebration of life. This is a legendary white party. It's the real white party. Make some noise if you've been here before. Okay. And to all the kids have like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids, because after that, y'all gotta go. It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to, okay?
Let's take a trip back to when Diddy's white parties were the talk of the town. These exclusive bashes ran from 1998 to 2009 and were basically a who's who of the entertainment world. Stars like Aretha Franklin, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton, Sarah Jessica Parker, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Ashton Kutcher all made appearances, making these parties the place to be. Whether it was the Hamptons or Beverly Hills, the concept was simple. Everyone had to pull up in all-white fits, and even the decor matched. The first white party went down on Labor Day weekend in 1998 at Diddy's spot in the Hamptons. It was a laid-back barbecue with about 200 guests, but the guest list was stacked. But it wasn't all fun and games for everyone. Certain insiders remember there being certain parts of the party that were off limits, and once it got late, the younger crowd had to bounce. Fast forward to today, with Diddy's name caught up in serious charges like sex trafficking and racketeering, and people are now looking back at those famous white parties through a whole new lens. Even though stars like Paris Hilton and Martha Stewart have called those early parties iconic and stunning, not everyone had the same experience. And now, with all these allegations coming to light, it's making people wonder what else went down behind the all-white glamour. As Diddy's legal battles escalate, Jennifer is also feeling the heat. Known for her stunning looks and presence at Diddy's events, old photos of her are resurfacing, causing fans to question what her involvement in Diddy's past could mean for her now. A viral image from Diddy's star-studded 4th of July party in 2000 adds another layer to the story. The photo shows Diddy, Jennifer, and the late R&B star Aaliyah lounging in bed, along with record executive Andre Harrell and Damon Dash, all smiling at the time. But with today's controversies, these images show us a different perspective. What was really happening behind the scenes? But perhaps an even bigger question is, how did Diddy end up facing these kinds of serious allegations? And what does it mean for the legacy he's built, as well as the celebrities who were once part of his inner circle? November 16th is the day when Diddy's empire started to collapse after Cassie filed a lawsuit against him, accusing him of violating her in 2018 and subjecting her to years of abuse, including physical violence and control over her personal and professional life. In a surprising turn, Cassie settled the $30 million lawsuit the next day on November 17th for an undisclosed amount. She told CNN that she chose to resolve the matter amicably. Despite the settlement, Diddy's lawyer emphasized that it does not imply guilt, and Diddy continues to deny all allegations. Just days later, on November 23rd, an anonymous woman filed a lawsuit accusing Diddy and singer Aaron Hall of violating her and a friend in 1990 or 1991 after meeting at an MCA Records event in New York. This lawsuit was brought forward just before a new New York law went into effect, allowing older assault cases to be filed despite being past the statute of limitations. On the same day, Joy Dickerson Neal also came forward with allegations, claiming that Diddy drugged, SA'd, and secretly recorded the attack while she was a college student. Then in February, Lil Rod sued Diddy, alleging that he was forced into unwanted sexual activities at Diddy's direction. Lil Rod claimed that Diddy hosted trafficking parties that involved underage girls and illegal drugs, suggesting that some record executives turned a blind eye for financial gain. Then, on May 22nd, Crystal McKinney filed a lawsuit in Manhattan, alleging that Diddy drugged and SA'd her at his New York recording studio in 2003. 2 days later, on May 24th, April Lampros accused Diddy of SA too in a New York lawsuit, detailing 4 separate incidents between 1995 and 2001, including one where he forced her to pop some e-pills. By May 29th, federal investigators had begun interviewing Diddy's accusers, preparing to call them to testify before a grand jury, signaling that prosecutors might be building a case against him. Although nothing was confirmed yet, Diddy's legal troubles escalated when he was arrested in Manhattan on September 16th after being indicted by a grand jury. The next day, a federal court unsealed charges against him for racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation for prostitution, accusing him of abusing, threatening, and coercing women to protect his public image and satisfy his desires. A memo also surfaced, alleging that Diddy and others used a Molotov cocktail to set fire to someone's car, a claim that echoed Cassie's earlier lawsuit where she said Diddy blew up a car owned by Kid Cudi. By September 24th, Diddy found himself in a Metropolitan Detention Center cell in Brooklyn, next to Sam Bankman-Fried and R. Kelly. That same day, Thalia Graves filed a federal lawsuit, alleging that Diddy and an associate offered her wine in 2001, which left her feeling dizzy and weak before they violated her with her hands tied behind her back. On September 26th, a documentary was released featuring an interview with Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, who discussed the leaked video of Diddy attacking Cassie. He called the indictment an attempt to take down a successful black man and stated he didn't expect Diddy to take a plea deal. Despite his lawyer's attempts, just 1 day later, on September 27th, Diddy was accused of drugging and violating another woman multiple times. Identified only as Jane Doe in the lawsuit, she claims she became pregnant after one of the encounters and is seeking unspecified damages. As the allegations against Diddy continue to pile up, Diddy now faces serious legal challenges, including the possibility of life in prison if convicted of racketeering conspiracy. The sex trafficking charge alone carries a minimum sentence of 15 years. With no bail granted, Diddy remains in federal custody as his trial approaches, leaving many to wonder how these allegations will affect his career and legacy in the entertainment industry. Do you think he's ever getting out? Let us know about it down in the comment section.